Hi, it's Heather from Flying Fox, and you ordered the Endless Mountains DIY barn quilt board. And let's talk about some things that you have in your packet, and then we'll go over quickly what to do with them, and it'll be pretty easy once we break it down. Let's go over what's in your bag or your box. First thing you're going to notice is blue tape, and I'll show you how to use it. A razor blade. Your razor blade might look a little bit different, and your blade's going to be inside it. So make sure whatever mechanism you have, some pop off, some twist off, make sure you flip the razor blade around so it actually works. A pack of brand new brushes. I have one. I think your pack came with 5 or 6. An eraser, if you want to erase the numbers that I drew on there for you. And a whole pile of brand new paints. Mine are old. It's my trusty old ones. But each paint will have a number on it, and that coordinates with the number on the board. So one thing you do not have in your packet that you may use, that we use, that is super, makes life a lot easier, is a spoon. And I'll show you what I'm using the spoon for in a second. A few other things I'm going to show you how to tape and how to paint, and then I'll let you go and I'll let you get to your barn quilt. Your board in particular, when you pull up the tape, the wood might splinter a little bit. So when you pull up the tape, if you see wood coming up with it, just make sure you stop, go from the other side, and to minimize that splintering. It's going to happen. You're going to have to paint over a part of it that was splintered. That's just a normal process of barn quilting, and my information's here. If ever you get stuck or lost, you can always call me or text me and I'll walk you through it. There's also on this YouTube channel a ton of other videos that do show what happens when they splinter, or do show other ways, other things that could potentially happen or how to work through them. So scroll through this whole channel and you can find all the answers that you need. But you have 18 colors to go, so let's get started. So your board looks like this, and let me zoom in. Don't get seasick on me or nauseous. So here you can see all the numbers of the barn quilt, and yours has all those numbers as well. And what we're going to do is, if I can get this back up there, we're going to start with number 1, which is in the upper corner of your barn quilt. So let me get situated and we'll start from there. Okay, so I made this so as if you were looking at it. So here's a number 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to find all the number 1s on your board. The number 1s are this light blue color, and they'll be up here in the sky somewhere. So we have a 1 here, 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 and here. So I'm going to show you what to do. So we only have 3 small areas. A great section to start learning how to barn quilt and make it a little bit easier. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to get your tape that you have here. And this is your square 1, right? So you're simply going to tape around your square. The key to barn quilting is not how well you can paint, but how well you can put tape on a straight line. So when you put your tape on there, just simply put it right on that square, right around this box here. My number 1 advice is do not rip the tape with your fingers. You're going to be fighting it. It's going to be a pain in the tush. Your razor blade is here to simply put your razor blade down. Let me see if you can see that. Put your razor blade down just like this and just gently pull away. It makes barn quilting so much easier and less stress when you're trying to do it, and it makes a cleaner cut. So we have our first one laid out. Let's go over to our other 1 areas, and we're simply going to outline it. So this is a 1 and this is a 1, so we don't have to tape individual squares. we're just going to tape that whole section. And then we're going to go right around here, just like what I taught you. Again, put the razor blade down, just like that, and pull away from you. Pull toward you, away from you, whatever's easier. And let's do it from this angle. Put the razor blade down and pull. And now it makes a nice clean cut. It's not a stressful cut, because if you try to do it, let's do it here. If you try to put the tape down and you try to push it with your finger, then you try to do something else and you push it with your finger, it really can be cumbersome. And we want this to be enjoyable, not give you any angst. So if you notice, this is a curve here. I'm not going to tape there. I'm just simply going to run my brush across here when we do it. So you have a number one, I have a number one. There's two different ways that you can get the paint out of here. As you can see, this one's sealed, and yours should be sealed as well. So I either take the razor blade, run it across here, if my fingernails will allow it, run that across there, just like that, and pull it up. And you can open the lid and use it this way, or you can use this way. I personally like to use it this way just because my motto is you paid for the paint, use it. So when you tape, oh shoot, we forgot a spot. So why do we have the spoon? We have the spoon because we want our tape to be secured down here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the edge of your spoon and we're going to just press that tape down. And this really makes a difference when you're trying to do, like, once you start taping and say you have a number butted up to here and you don't want this one to bleed over into that one. This really secures that tape really well. So we've spooned it. So if you ever hear me call it spooning, that's what we're doing. We spooned around these edges. And now we're going to take this paint. And we're going to get a glob just like this. And we're going to paint. The tape is there so you can make sure your square is perfect. Do a nice liberal layer there. And just like with this, like I said, we're not going to tape the circle part. We're just going to run our brush right along here and just hope that turns out. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to come back for our second layer. Okay, the paint's dried. Just so it's slightly dry, you can do a second coat. You don't have to let it fully dry, but let it dry enough where you can actually put a second coat over top of it and it won't, it won't clump up. So then we're going to do this and outline that again, just like that. Doesn't matter how you do your strokes. Some people like them all in one direction. Some people like them chaotic. I personally like them fairly chaotic, and the reason behind that is because by the time you're done with it and you polyurethane it, you don't even see the strokes. You don't see the strokes, so there's no point in putting a ton of attention into what direction they go. So now, while the paint is drying, while it's still wet, I like to pull up the tape. You can do it either way, but I personally like to pull up the tape while it's wet. That way, if we have a heavy latex paint, it does not stick to the tape and come up when you're pulling it up off the board. So awesome. Look at that. We have our first one of 18 colors done. So now if you'd like to, you can see here as a 4 and a 3, it's not really touching any of the ones. So you're more than welcome to, if you're in a hurry, you can go on to the 2s, which are right here, down here, here, and over here, over here. But what I like to do is I like to do a layer of paint. I like to go take a nap. I like to go grocery shopping, watch a little bit of TV, wait an hour or so for that to fully dry, and then come on to the next one. This is meant to be relaxing and not in a wild hurry. So there you go. That's how you tape. That's how you paint. And if you'd like, you can join me tomorrow and we can do number 2 and we'll see how we go from there. With that, have a super day. With that, have a super day. And if you have any questions, let me know, or tune back here for tomorrow. Maybe we'll just do every color and do a video for it. Congratulations on purchasing your barn quilt. Again, contact me at any time. I'm happy to help. Thank you.